Tony Benn, the former Eurosceptic and Labour MP, made a terrifying no-deal warning over the EU's plans to create an empire just 1 year before his death in an unsettling prediction. Mr. Benn was one of the rare Labour MPs who continued to call for the UK to leave the EU for years. He spent much of his political life campaigning against Brussels and what came before the EU, the European Economic Community (EEC). He called for a referendum on entry to the bloc in 1970, writing to his constituents at the time, "It would be a very curious thing to try to take Britain into a new political entity, by a process that implied that the British public were unfit to see its historic importance for themselves." Mr. Benn passed away in 2014, just 2 years short of the historic 2016 Brexit vote. Despite this, the Labour MP appeared to foretell many of the events now unfolding, as the transition period comes to an end, and one of his warnings against a potential no-deal exit looks likelier by the day. A year before his death, Mr. Benn addressed the Oxford Union on his simple view on Europe. Here, he talked about a situation in which the UK withdrew from the EU with no deal, an event that could result in hostility as in his view, Brussels was becoming more powerful, and beginning to build an empire for itself. He explained, "The way Europe has developed is that bankers and the multinational corporations have got very powerful positions. If you come in on their terms, they will tell you what you can and cannot do. That is unacceptable. My view of the European Union has always been not that I'm hostile to foreigners but that I'm in favor of democracy. Out of this story we have to find an answer because I certainly don't want to live in hostility to the European Union. I think they are building an empire and want us to be part of that empire, and I don't want that." Mr. Benn had a significant influence on the former Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn and his politics, including Brexit. Mr. Corbyn was initially hesitant to commit to a people's vote. Many commented on the fact that he was a staunch critic of the European Union earlier on in his career.